that money, run on down the line. Take that money, run on down the line.
All right, Charliana. Hey, y'all gotta slow down for me, man. Look at this. Old San Juan is hopping today.
Okay.
Gracias.
Are you party of the bride or the groom?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What I call
Limping part.
the steps of death. Okay,
Yep.
here we are. Oh my God. I love it every time I enter this space.
And well, it's been a long time. I mean, this.
You came here a couple years ago, so
Well,
you
and
know.
the catacol's still here.
What are you doing with this piece, Charlie?
Well, this is has to do with the inner ear.
Right.
You know, so that has to do with the space where sound becomes, part of our body, and something that one processes goes to the brain
See.
after being in this space, vibrations. So, but this is something that I'm doing. It's a sound piece.
Are you currently
words.
working on this? or-
Yeah, I'm working on it.
It's been 2 years, Charlie. When are you going to get it done?
I like it so much as it is.
Yeah.
That I
You don't
feel
rush
like I
art,
should-
Earl. You don't rush art.
No, I love it too. I mean,
I
that's.
love it as it is.
Yeah.
The next stage is with this, wooden elements that I've been thinking about,
Yeah.
and they don't fit here. This is sort of a model I made for this piece. Wanna play
Give Earl
this,
one, too.
this one.
This is the best one?
Yeah. That one is very nice. Maybe this one. And this one. This one.
Okay, I want one too.
Anna wants one too.
Yes.
This is a project that I did in the middle of the rainforest. It's a private property
Right.
that edges with the forest reserve and with El Yunque. I wanted to do something that will go well with nature, in nature.
Did you offer them like something that they could use, or they'll just pick some, stick up off the street?
There's
or-
some sticks.
Yeah.
I made some sticks too. But that's pretty simple. You can make your own, or even with your finger. Any piece
And
of-
Luna.
Luna!
Is that Luna?
Luna, yeah. Luna.
But what's is
Luna
this?
came here on a spaceship.
Mira, this
no,
is.
I'm not kidding.
No, this is what
not
Luna-
a joke.
She wants everybody to believe that she was that dog that was sent to space by the Russians, and that she, everybody thought that she was, she had died, but she really, came
back down.
in this river, right at that spot in Rio Espiritu Santo. That's why you have the Sputnik.
The
thing
Sputnik,
landing on top of the Apollo 11 lunar thing.
That's true.
Yes, true. No,
Anna,
I can show you.
Anna.
No. This
Yes.
is off the
Anna,
camera. Look
you
at this.
do
Yeah.
know that Luna's not actually from space, right?
Mira.
No?
Are you
She
kidding me?
does all kinds of
Luna.
things like this. She went to
Come here,
space.
baby.
She
You're
is
not
from the
really a-
And I had a
space.
picture of her taken in front of the.
really a Russian cosmonaut, are you?
You want to go to the other?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's go
go
check
there.
some of the other ones out here.
This is another story. This is part of the Shoeshine project that I did.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is really the Moscow version of the Shoeshine box. And the inside of that box is a small museum.
Right.
And it's about relating things. Remember the Maine?
Yeah.
This is the
Oh,
Maine
right, the
blown
Maine.
up in the Havana Bay. I took a photo, a famous photograph. It's a
Yeah.
black and white, and I just put it as it was just, the day is kind of starting, and it's, the ship is all blown up.
Okay.
And there's these three turtles swimming around.
Did that start the Spanish-American War?
That
The
started
sinking of the Maine.
The sinking of the Maine in Havana Bay meant that the U.S.
I'm just
took
saying.
over Puerto Rico.
Here's Craig.
Spanish-American
Hey,
War.
Charlie, just check me if I'm right here. The USS Maine, I believe it was a Wednesday around 7 o'clock, wasn't it? I'm not
something like-
sure the story, but yeah.
So
Oh man,
this
yeah.
is now more.
This is what I love too because, well, again,
I have to turn on the lights. I'm sorry.
Charlie, I've been here a few times. These things, they're
Look at-
never,
look at
they're
all-
never getting done.
Dude, look at all of them.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at all the different patterns. And Anna, this is where your stuff, you do the work the lathe. Is this your stuff?
No, that's Charles
Charles's
too.
stuff?
Yeah.
But when you did your piece, were you working it here as well?
Working
yeah.
the lathe?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the. I mean, I think
You'll
that
have all
is
the
it.
tools.
This is the wood area.
This is something that I continue to work on, and maybe I made quite a bit of them, but they have to do with
Oh, right. Yeah.
bringing together different kinds of wood, for sound.
Excuse me, I'm hungry.
That is crazy.
And it's just two pieces of wood, and they're just rubbing.
And it's simply because they're different types of wood.
Exactly.
The shoe shine box, does that connect to
That's
the...
that's where it came from.
We talked about the different woods in your piece. You're dealing with different woods here, but it's that combination of organic, sound, function. Remind us this project.
Well, basically, I've done a shoe shine project, in different cities around the world. Washington, D.C. was the first one. And then I went to Prague, to Moscow.
Right.
The most recent one was in Asunción, Paraguay. So they asked me, wow, we would like to have your shoe shine project, because there's shoe shiners here in the city or something. I decided this time, because I in my work, I assume like characters, or, I become like a character, the shoe shiner, the artist that goes as a nomad around the world to show his work, and it has to be portable, has to be
Right.
portable work because he lives in Puerto Rico, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to go around and show. And then I thought that I should return that character, I should give it back in Asunción. So instead of building a huge shoe shine box, which was the same as a small one, this time I just decided to concentrate on the shoe shine box and make the best one I could make, because it would be the one that I would give to the shoe shiners. So I made 25 boxes
Of these?
of these, and I made them as a kit. So the idea was that we would put it together and we would do like small workshops,
Right.
so the kids would understand how they work, why they make the sound. And so the shoe shine box that I decided to do is unlike the other ones that have like the house shape.
Right,
This
yeah.
is
The traditional,
this,
yeah.
Yeah, it's not. This is not like the traditional one, and on purpose, I wanted to have this barrel and just have everything change, but everything work for the purpose. It should have, the straps,
Yeah.
so you can carry it. It has the right height for someone to put their foot on top.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it has a compartment where you can put your materials.
Right.
This little compartment.
Yeah.
I made it out of plastic, PVC,
Right.
which is a very recognizable material. So if someone wanted to reproduce it, I'm just telling you, need this kind
PVC
of barrel
and wood.
because of sound. Because I thought, make a sound piece. So I made, this is the main part, the main body to produce a sound. And then every part makes a different kind of sound,
In the shoe shine business, is this a traditional thing that people do the noise? No.
Yeah, well, that's where the idea came from. That's where the idea
Yeah.
came from, because when someone shoe shines you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you might fall asleep,
Right.
Because it's like a foot massage,
Right.
and so they do. So you change your foot because
Yeah.
people they get so much
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
So there's all these sounds, and then when they finish, they hit the box twice.
Yeah.
And it's time to pay.
Yeah.
So I thought, the shoe shiners would appreciate something that had some extra
Sounds.
capacities or something.
Well, and also
they
I
could
re-
attract their customers.
I remember even in Mexico when I lived there, you get in the center, the Zocalo. The kids, you're trying to find that guy that you always get your shoe shine from, so you could have a discrete kind of sound. You just, in a crowded area, you follow the sound to, that's my guy that I always get, the Limpia Botas guy
Exactly.
in that area.
This is where this came from. This
Gotcha.
something. Because
Right.
I saw, and I actually copied this from a bird call, like an Audubon
Right.
bird call,
Yeah.
which fascinated me when I saw it. And I thought, this is something very simple that I can make that the kids would love, because they can, it's a way to whistle to a client too.
See.
Because if you're
Yeah,
playing
that's
it,
what I
it's
was
going
saying,
to
the
look.
whistle.
Right.
And also the kids kind of are together. And, I thought of the idea that they could jam together. Maybe they
Oh,
get
yeah,
together
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
start doing their thing, like one is doing like that, the one is doing
Yeah.
like that. But it's a sound piece.
Did they use it? I mean, you went.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you brought it. They used it.
Yeah. Well, what I did was What I did was I met with the shoe shiners several times.
Yeah.
I spoke to them about the project because this is a kit.
Yeah.
This is a kit. So this all
Oh,
opens up.
wow.
And I showed them, I took chalk. I said, you have to put chalk once in a while. So when you rub it, and I taught them what makes a sound so they could make more or they could fix their own. So it was a workshop about the box and the sounds and about the idea that I was an artist coming from Puerto Rico participating in an international event and I wanted to connect with the real people. And that's really what we did because we very discreetly met with the shoe shiners every time. And then at the end, I just gave him the shoe shine boxes and I said, what I want to do is a little concert with you guys. Just jam
Yeah.
for a little bit. And they jammed and then they all ran with their boxes. In Asunción, the shoe shiners are all from like age maybe 5 or even younger to about 14, 16. And they're boys and girls. It's regulated by the government, so they cannot work during school hours. So the shoe shiners you can only find out of school hours. So I thought, and really like, these weird things, coincidences that happen in the world. In Paraguay, there's a very famous orchestra that plays with instruments made with trash. And they're
I've heard of
unreal
this.
instruments, yeah. And the thing is that I didn't know about this thing until I got there. And this kind of fits into that.
Yeah.
Not that this was done with, really like discarded things, but it's about making sound and making an instrument and something very special accessible.
Yeah.
So for this event, the kids stayed with their boxes.
Yeah.
They're for them, and they didn't have to give me a picture
Yeah.
or anything. I don't know if they continue to use them, or if someone
Yeah.
came and bought them off of them,
Right.
or if they thought it was a good idea,
Yeah.
in the end. But
But
they have them.
You're not trying to hide the design. You're trying to, I don't know, democratize.
Yeah,
That
to
is
make it
brilliant.
more open, more accessible, and have art be related to to reality, not something that is only for like luxury or I'm not interested in that at all.
So I always loved this piece because it's like the rattan swing chairs we
Yeah,
used
from
to have
Asia.
in Asia.
Feels like Thailand.
Yeah, but this is another example of how you could actually do something in your piece versus just kind of looking at the thing because
Exactly.
you can sit
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
yeah. Most of the work is interactive.
Interactive.
So having a lot of wood, because I see a lot of wood, a lot of termites.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them.
That was a setup.
It's a setup. I love
Total
termites.
setup.
I remember the whole story of the termites.
They're really,
yeah.
look at that. Isn't
Yeah.
that the most beautiful thing here? And that's,
But is this real?
No, I made it, but
Ah,
it's,
okay.
very much
Fiberglass.
just like it,
Can we go back to this part of the work?
Yeah, yeah.
But the machete.
You never know when you need one near.
Poor Luna.
have 'em
Luna
all over
walks
the
very
place.
gingerly in a trumpet.
So beautiful.
Ah, yeah. Smells like wood.
Now, Anna, these are parts of your work.
Yes, these are part of mine.
This is your
And
exercise.
It's on a mountain piece, but this one too.
Wow. Everywhere you look, an airplane with bongos or djembes.
Oh, yeah, those are
Termites.
awesome.
It's a termite airplane.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't seem to work at all.
You have to take.
I think the one who is not working is you.
I must not be musical. Everyone else has music in their life.
So that's the termite.
Oh, it is a termite.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yes.
thought it was an airplane.
No. Well,
It's an airplane
But-
carried by termites.
Ah.
yeah, the drum does the bottom part.
Ah,
of the-
okay.
of the
I
bottom.
gotcha.
Isn't this house where One of the guys was shot. No, I have that wrong.
No. It's over there, the one with the trumpet.
Oh, okay.
That one, I can show you. It's the one with
See,
the trumpet.
let's do that actually. All right, you have to show Charlie because you were goofing off behind him. But here, Charlie, look at what Earl does.
No, I'll do it with the machete.
No, you cannot do it with the machete. Don't break Charlie's
Oh,
art.
it doesn't come out?
No, you're not supposed to touch it, Earl.
Don't do it, Earl.
And there's a whole bunch of things I'm not supposed to do.
Too short. Well, dude,
I can do any of it.
You can do
I
short.
can do short, long, whatever.
This is
As
part
you
of the
just
show.
talk, and I just bounce.
Do you used to work in a circus?
He still works in a circus.
Anything. You pick anything out of here, I'll balance it. Anything. The table, the chairs.
Okay, here.
This-
Oh my God! No,
no,
don't.
no.
No, you're gonna break
That won't
that.
break
chair.
it, but I can do it.
It's very heavy.
Now those are some mad skills right there.
That's a
It is
circus.
So you
heavy.
want to see the little house?
Next, get something
Yeah, I
a little
want to
bit
see
lighter.
the house. And you have to explain the house.
Tell me about this
Very
piece.
Sorry. Well, this I'm revamping it, or as I say it in
Yeah.
English, like,
Yeah.
you know. But this is a house, you know, a project that I've worked with several times. You know, thinking about a person that was very important for the pro-independence movement in Puerto Rico. His name is Filiberto Ojeda Rios, and was released with bracelet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
the leg
And the day after he was released with the bracelet, he left the bracelet in front of the newspaper, Claridad, the offices for the newspaper.
protest, he
And
left
he
it.
disappeared. And for 20 years, he was completely not seen by anybody. The FBI was, you know, behind him.
Right.
Because he was accused to being part of a clandestine, you know, being the leader of a clandestine
Resistance.
pro-independence movement. Armed movement, Los Macheteros. The
Machetero with the
Macheteros.
machete, yeah.
Yeah, and while he was disappeared, he built a house for himself in Hormigueros, Puerto Rico. This is the house.
That's a
basically.
replica
This is
of
a
the house?
replica of the house. It actually had a little kiosk here where they had lunch. After being in clandestinity,
Yes.
right, for about 20 years, the FBI found him, supposedly spotted him, and went to his house with helicopters and, you know, all kinds of.
Surrounded him, oh, yeah.
And they surrounded him and they killed him. They killed him. They waited for him to be in the view of the rifles, and they killed him. He was the only person there. He was there with his love his
Right.
partner. He asked if he could let her go, and the FBI said she could go out. So he was left alone. And he had a gun, but nothing else. He was completely surrounded by the FBI. The FBI shot him here, and they let him bleed in the front, in the
porch.
front door.
Yeah.
And you know, hours after he was there bleeding, then they went in. So they made sure there was no way he would be alive. So I've done several reflections on this person and what he represented. And he was also a trumpet player. Filiberto Ojeda was a trumpet player. So in this version of the project, what I did was like a little trumpet case
Right.
in the shape of his home. It has a little door. So right now I have the hinges
It'll
off.
be like flap.
But you open it, and it's a trumpet case. So inside, there's a little trumpet.
Yep.
Yeah, right now I don't have the velvet, but you know that's the next step.
Yeah.
You know, to finish it up, it goes with the velvet, and it spills out a little bit.
Oh, the blood.
So
From
yeah,
the
because
inside.
that's exactly where he was murdered. He was murdered in the front door, and that's
Yeah,
exactly
I said
where,
the porch,
where
but
he
it was
bled.
the door, and then he fell and bled out.
Bled out.
basically.
Yeah, and they let him bleed to death.
Wow.
But this piece, you didn't mention that it's part of a series that you have called Resistant.
Resistance. So all of this is a contribution in your art to the resistance of colonialism and the oppression of colonialism.
Yeah. I want to think about it myself, and I want to bring it up.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up the
conversation
Yeah,
about
the
it.
conversation
See.
and the thinking about all this, because this was a crime. This
Yeah.
guy was in his house, and when I studied the house, I noticed that all the windows were glass windows. That he had a porch in front of his house where he had, I assume he had his meals
Right.
with his wife, with his partner. So it was very visible. It wasn't a house for someone to hide. It was
Yeah.
someone, I'm sure that the ones that were behind him knew exactly where he was for
Yeah, I
years.
was gonna say
But they
that's
decided-
odd that they knew probably exactly where he was for a while.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
sure.
they just
Yeah,
decided,
yeah.
all right, we're
I'm
done.
pretty sure about that.
Well, and the day that they did it, it was the date,
Yeah. The-
Septiembre 23.
So
the,
September
the
23rd.
day that we celebrate the first
Litro.
cry for independence, which we call El Grito de Lares.
The yell.
It's a
Yeah.
scream. It's for independence. It's the 23rd of September, exactly that day when every 23rd of September in the recent years we had heard a speech by Filiberto. So while we were hearing the speech in Lares,
This was
he
happening.
was. They were the FBI were around his house and they murdered him on that date.
Is this for you or is this for anyone else?
In
I mean,
what sense?
when you're exploring these things, when you're doing your art, is it really you're just coming to terms with it yourself?
In a way, I guess, yeah. It's very personal, but I'm trying also to think about ways I can make things accessible or share knowledge. So it really is not to please myself, or I'm thinking about how to bridge over and make this experience very accessible.
So I'm gonna ask a hard question. This is a very violent piece, but you don't necessarily advocate for violent revolution here.
No.
But this is an expression in art to be resistant.
Yeah, I mean, these are reflections, really. So it's not about I'm not spelling it all out or that kind of way. But I mean, for me, it's a homage, you say,
Right.
to Filiberto,
So-
and what he stood for, what he stands for in our memory.
In this piece, I want to go to my origin. These pieces of wood, it was a tree that it was torn by the hurricane Maria.
Oh, okay.
And I rescued the wood and tried to do a piece with it. Since I work, like I told you before, with the woven and thread and tradition that I am interested in. So there's a needle that you can see here
I see.
with the cotton.
Threaded, yeah.
And then you will have from where everything it's come from, the wood. It's metaphoric too, because we have here a C-clamp, and it's like how something need the help of other. So this is what I want to represent here.
So something torn apart by Maria then gets put back together or helped or rebuilt.
Yeah, but I like to think, because it is like your other piece, again, you can see how it started, how it ends up, what it does, and then the fact that it, everything needs a little C-clamp in their life once in a while.
Yeah, it is true. It is
Yeah.
metaphoric, I told you.
It is metaphor. No, I get it. It's beautiful. Was the wood here? Where was the wood?
The wood come from my parents' house. When I was small. Yes.
Oh, really? So it is
He-
really personal.
He planted this tree.
Your father.
My father.
Wow.
And then Maria turned it down, and I rescued it, and it's come from there. And I think one of the first pieces that I did in 1991, it was the same, but it was Hurricane George. It's very from the origin,
Yeah.
the origin of the tree, the origin of my
Beginning.
investigations.
Yeah.
And then I like the idea of raw and cook.
Yeah.
So you have something that is raw, and then have something that is cooked. So you have my print,
Prints,
my
Yeah.
fingerprints here, yes, and then you have the other part of the origin
Yeah.
of the tree.
That's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Love it,
Thank you,
man.
Ana.
What do you call it?
Contorno deshilado.
Contorno de
It's a
Silano.
series that I did that it has to be with the pieces that are in this series has fabric on thread.
Oh, okay.
And then after I unthread them, I construct something. So
Really?
it's like, how do you deconstruct something
Deconstruct and
to
then
construct?
construct it again.
Yeah.
I gotcha. It's a gorgeous piece. Thank
Yeah.
you.
There's so much more to explore, and we want you to join us on The Good Road.
For more in-depth content, meet us on the internet at thegoodroad.tv.
Hear more great stories, connect to organizations, and make sure you download our podcast, Philanthropology.